I brought you out into my filthy backyard. The chickens are sunbathing. When I let them out this morning, it was quite late. When I got up this morning, it was -4 out here. And so I didn't come out because Mark would be a long time getting up, and if I fell over out here, I'd have died of hypothermia by the time he found me. So I don't come down and let them out until I know that he's up when it's cold like this. So when I let them out this morning, it was about 9:45, and they rushed out. And 3 of these girls, one of the gold ones and 2 of the black ones, rushed out, and then they formed a queue to lay eggs under the potting table, as was. And I guess that they were queuing, and one of the black ones was under there having a dig around, and the other 2 were waiting patiently or impatiently. And the water was frozen. In this red bowl it was frozen, and there's another container down at the chicken run that was frozen. So Mark came out later and melted the water and found 2 eggs. But they're just enjoying the sun. Ida was sunbathing. She was standing in the sun when I went down. And then when I speak to her, as you know, she turns away. Everything okay, Mrs. Sheep? You got enough grass? And then she walks back up and follows me back up. Not very quickly, but follows me back up, and then you get to scritch the back of her head if you're careful. So she had a scritch. It's +5 now, centigrade. It's still cold, and you can still see that there's frost where the shade is. I'm really quite uncomfortable today. It could be the weather, couldn't it? Certainly much achier than I've been. I was beginning to think that the methotrexate was working, and it may well be, but in this sort of weather I think arthritis and rheumatism just are at their worst. This is the japonica, Japanese quince. So, not a cloud up there. In 2 weeks' time, tree surgeon's coming, and this tree will be tidied. That tree, that's the walnut tree, it's very tall, so that will be reduced somewhat to make it safer because it's quite close to the house. There is, it's a bit difficult because of the sun. There's a cherry tree behind the bamboo there that's going to come down, I think. There's 2, one along the hedge line. The chestnut over there that's very close to our neighbours, that's got to come down. And I can't remember now. He might be doing some tidying up on that one. And then there's a dead chestnut next to the chicken house. This one, which I think he might be taking down. Yeah, I think he's going to take that one down, or at least lower it and bring it down to roof height. That will be finally the first job of the many jobs that we have planned for months. And I've told the microstation people that they can't come on the dates that the tree surgeon will be here, because they'll all need access through that gate. And I think he has a converted fire truck. He's English. Converted fire truck. And I don't know whether he's going to travel backwards and forwards or whether he's going to stay in the garden. When he does jobs further away from home, he stays on site, so I'm not sure if that's his plan. But it'll be nice to get the trees sorted properly this year, because they've always been done over the 16 years we've been here. They've been done in dribs and drabs, and it'll be nice to give them a good seeing to and get them in order and get them healthy, rather than waiting for them to rot and just, you know, branches dropping off where they're rotting. So that's an update from the filthy yard. All that's missing is a pussycat. I'll see if I can find her before I end this. They're still there. Very quiet. Very happy. It's definitely better dynamics without the other cockerel. Not that he was causing problems, but I just think this older cockerel, the father, was having to keep him in check, so, you know, he couldn't relax quite as relaxed as he is now. Let's see if we can find Jazz. Oh, I can see her. She's out in the road. I can hear a crane. I'm going to see if I can find it. I just missed them. They were over there in the distance. Oh, that's a shame. Just a few coming back, which is lovely. It's always a sign that spring's on the way, but it also means that they're just the early bunch and spring isn't necessarily on the way. Now, there's a pussycat out here. What are you doing out there? Are you going to dig a hole out there? You're not going to pee in a hole out there by the edge of the driveway, surely? Oh, spraying. That always amazes me when a female sprays. I mean, she's been done, so... But she's obviously marking her territory. I didn't know they did that. I do now and have known for a while, but I've never seen her do that. Sorry it's on film, you may not have wanted to see it. Okay, so that's the news on a lovely bright but very cold day in what, early February. We're going through the wood. That was right along the wall, I think, before. But we're nice and warm indoors.